tonight. I was disappointed obviously last week. I've had a couple of fantastic exhibitions in Wales this weekend. 3 or 4 days at home with the family. Sun's out, kids are in the paddling pool, we've had a barbie, and I really felt dead relaxed coming into the night. And I said to Kirsty, I was like, I don't think I'm going to beat Van Gogh, I think I'm going to win the night. And obviously the first game was huge, but after that I felt like the shackles had come off a little bit. Even though I still had to win that next game, I felt like the pressure would come off, and I think the finishing's been fantastic this evening. There's been a couple of legs where I was out the leg, so I just kind of threw the darts away. But I think apart from that, I think the finishing is what's won me this evening. I said to Luke when I walked back up after the game, when I missed, I think he had 53 to win the match, and I went 13 wire. I'm not even lying. All I could see was Luke Littler's head at the double 20. Because obviously I bombed it last week. There's no way I should have lost last week to Luke Littler, but I did. I missed so many darts to win the game, and I could see Luke's head. But luckily I threw a great mark on it. I hit the double. But the thing is, Van Gogh is for me, is my idol in darts. He's a goat of darts, and if I can qualify for the Premier League campaign by beating Michael back-to-back weeks, that would mean more to me than probably any other dart player. We both said it this evening. I spoke to Gezi, I've not seen him since last Thursday, and I shook his hand. I went, well done mate for qualifying. I said, you've done half of it, it's down to me now to finish the job off. And we've laughed all year about it. We know why we was picked, we proved why we was picked, and how good would it be? I'm not counting my chickens, but if me and Gezi play in the final, that would be absolutely unbelievable. But first and foremost, you got to forget about that. I've got to concentrate on next week. The job isn't done yet. Can't get ahead of myself. Michael is more than capable of winning next week. I've got to beat him next week, and I'm done. And then we can have a laugh.
You've been to 2 finals nights. However, one was at MK, one was at the Rico. Does this mean more?
Yeah.
Because it's the O2, that iconic venue, and the little chap from Stockport, as you called yourself, going to that iconic venue. Does this mean more now because of that?
Yeah, I said on stage before. I said I've got 3 things left that I want to do before I retire from darts: be world champion, play for England, play in the final of the Premier League. And next Thursday I can knock one of them off. It'll be amazing. Like I say, I played in 2 Premier League finals, both in lockdown. But to walk out in front of the O2, the most iconic building in the whole of England, like arena wise, would be amazing. And fingers crossed, I can do the job and I can be there.
When you started this campaign in the Premier League, how tough was it to put out all the comments that everybody was saying and just focus on proving them wrong? Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to. It was hard. It was horrific. I came off social media because of the abuse that I was getting. I'm not being exaggerated here, but it ruined my life for a month. Not just my life, my family's. It was horrific. But I'm a professional sportsman. You've got to deal with it, and I put things in place to deal with that. But I think me and Gezi have both received the same treatment, and we've used it to our advantage. You know what I mean? And I've actually enjoyed this Premier League campaign more than anyone that I've ever played in. I think the standard has been out of this world. I think all 8 players have done themselves credit. I think it has been the most competitive Premier League there's ever been, the most entertaining, the most exciting, and to me to come out in the top 4 of that Premier League with these amazing players, I'll be buzzing.
The last few years you've missed out just by the finest of margins. You've been flirting with the playoffs for the past few weeks. Has that been in your mind leading up to this moment?
The last two weeks it's been in my head. And even when I beat Stephen, then I walked into the room where Backport was, and I'm going, even I can't F this up. And obviously that was a massive step forward, then winning that final. But listen, it isn't over. You know what I mean? I can't get ahead of myself. I've still got a job to do next week. I can't rest on my laurels. But yeah, obviously it's a massive step forward. I want to finish that job off on Thursday. I want to finish it strong. And listen, there's another night to win, another 10 grand, another trophy. If I win, I could go to 3rd. You know what I mean? Let's not forget that. So there's a lot to play for next week. But I'm going to enjoy my evening tonight, and I'm very proud of myself.